गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जननी यशोदा नंदन व्रज जनरंजन जमुना तीरावनचारी जमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीचंद वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीचंद वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदा नंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव राधे जय राधा रास बिहारी राधे जय राधा कृष्ण चंद्र राधे जय गौरांगी बैंगलोरेश्वर गौरांगी बैंगलोरेश्वर गौरांगी जय जगन्नाथ जय बालादेवा जय सुभद्रा जय सुदर्शन जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय अनंत देव जय निताय चैतन्य जय निताय चैतन्य निताय चैतन्य जय निताय चैतन्य जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजाचार्य स्तोत्र शत इस डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय ISKCON संस्थापक आचार्य BBD फाउंडर आचार्य सेवर ऑफ द होल यूनिवर्स जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजाचार्य स्तोत्र शत इस डिवाइन ग्रेस श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत गोस्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नमाचार्य श्री हरदास ठाकुर की जय जय श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ षट गोस्वामी प्रभुगण की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन गिरिराज महाराज की जय मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय श्री क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय जमुना माई की जय कावेरी माई की जय भक्ति देवी की जय तुलसी महारानी की जय समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भागवतम की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories and glories and glories and glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Shri Prabhupada ki jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतं सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्गायतेन गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुनिर्धारणं परमानन्दं माधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरि ओम तत्सत् Hare Krishna. So we'll continue our conversation from the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And be reading from the 50th verse from the 7th chapter. The fourth canto is titled The Creation of the Fourth Order, and the 7th chapter is titled as Prayers by Daksha. Just allow me to share my screen. There we go. Okay. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Aham Brahma Cha Sarvascha Jagat Karanam Param Atmeshvara Upadrishta Swayandriga Avisheshana श्रीभगवान् उवाच अहं ब्रह्म च सर्वश्च जगता कारणं परम् आत्मेश्वर उपादृष्टा स्वयं दृग अविशेषणा श्रीभगवान् उवाच अहं ब्रह्मश्च सर्वश्च जगता कारणं परम् आत्मेश्वर उपादृष्टा स्वयं दृग अविशेषणा. What translation? Sri Bhagavan, Lord Vishnu, Uvacha said, Aham, I, Brahma, Cha, and Sarva, Lord Shiva, Cha, and Jagata of the material manifestation, Karanam, cause, Param, supreme, Atma Ishvara, the super soul, Upadrishta, the witness, Swayam Drika, self-sufficient, Avisheshana, there is no difference. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Lord Vishnu replied, Brahma, Lord Shiva, and I are the supreme cause of all material manifestation. I am the super soul, the self-sufficient witness, but impersonally there is no difference between Brahma, Lord Shiva, and me. Purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Brahma was born out of the transcendental body of Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva was born out of the body of Lord Brahma. Lord Vishnu is therefore the supreme cause. In the Vedas, also it is stated that the beginning there was only Vishnu, Narayana. There is no Brahma, no Shiva. Similarly, Shankaracharya confirmed this. Narayana Para. Narayana or Lord Vishnu is the origin, and Brahma and Shiva are manifested after creation. Lord Vishnu is also Atmeshwara, the super soul in everyone. Under his direction, everything is promoted from within. For example, in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, Tene Brahma Arda. He first educated Lord Brahma from within. In Bhagavad Gita 10.2, Lord Krishna states, Aham Adir Hi Devanam. Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna is the origin of all demigods, including Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. In another place in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Krishna states, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. Everything is generated from me. This includes all demigods. Similarly, in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadi Asyata, and in the Upanishad is the statement, Yato va imami bhutani jayate. Everything is generated from Lord Vishnu. Everything is maintained by him, and everything is annihilated by his energy. Therefore, by their actions and reactions, the energies which come from him create the cosmic manifestation and also dissolve the whole creation. Thus, the Lord is the cause and also the effect. However, whatever effect we see in the interaction of his energy, and because of the energy is generated from him, he is both cause and effect. Simultaneously, everything is different and the same. It is said that everything is Brahman. Sarvam Kevalam Idam Brahma. In the highest vision, nothing is beyond Brahman, and therefore Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are certainly non-different from him. Om Tat Sat thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to text number 50 of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 7, prayers of Lord Daksha, and the canto number 4, canto titled The Creation of the Fourth Order. Om Tat Sat. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshururmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Adamayam Sada Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees to this wonderful, very pleasant, by the mercy of the Lord, pleasant day. And Dwadashi Tithi today. Yesterday we all fasted for Ekadashi. And I thank the management for giving me this opportunity to speak on the subject today. We are speaking about this in continuation to the prayers by Daksha. And while Daksha was praying this, Lord Vishnu, there is Daksha, there are a lot of sages there. Lord Daksha is offering prayers at the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas there, sages, demigods. And Daksha is a very elevated personality. We have all read that in the past. Now here, at this particular point of time, there is Lord Shiva, Brahma, and Lord Vishnu. All the three are present. And there's a conversation which Lord Vishnu is making. And he's making it very clear for our own understanding. It's not that Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma didn't know this. They knew it very well. But for the benefit of the general public or public at large, this statement is given here. And Lord Vishnu himself says that Brahma, Lord Shiva, and I are the supreme cause of the material manifestation. Okay. There are certain things that we have to really read through and underline in our mind. He says very clearly, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and I are the supreme cause of material manifestation. Okay, please note this. Many times we say Lord Shiva also is, and Lord Brahma is also the creator of the spiritual manifestation. No, spiritual manifestation is the only prerogative of Lord Vishnu or Narayana. Yeah. And as we continue, it says, I am the super soul. This is said by Lord Vishnu himself. The self-sufficient witness, but impersonally, there is no difference between Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and me. Okay. So nobody should differentiate between Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Lord Vishnu. But at the same time, it is very clear that Lord Vishnu is the super soul residing in everybody's heart. Okay. And we all know the background that Lord Brahma was born out of the transcendental body of Lord Vishnu. He was the first being created by Lord Vishnu. He was not born. We all use this interchangeably. And he appeared. And when he appeared, there's only one sound that he heard: tapa, tapa, tapa. And he immediately went into meditation. And that was the instructions given to him by the Supreme Cause. Supreme Cause, it was Lord Vishnu. Yeah. And if Lord Vishnu is not there, if Narayan is not there, there is no Brahma or Shiva. And this was confirmed in various Vedas. Sometimes we have this conversation which is happening, and people tell us that where is it written on our Shastras? Yeah. So we can quote this couple of shlokas where it is very clearly saying, and Shankaracharya himself confirmed that Narayana Para, Narayana or Lord Vishnu, is the origin, and Brahma and Shiva are manifested after this creation. And here in the shloka, it also says about Atmeshwara, the super soul in everybody. Atmeshwara. Atmeshwara means the super soul, the soul in everybody, every heart or every living entity. And it also continues, says, under his direction, Everything is prompted from within. The beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam also it says Tene Brahma Rida. He first educated Lord Brahma from within. He didn't give him a classroom, conversation there. No, it was directly from heart to heart. He transferred the knowledge. Lord Vishnu transferred the knowledge from his heart to, I wouldn't say transferred, I would say it as imparted. Yeah, because then there will be a misconception saying that transferred means everything is gone to Lord Brahma. No, he actually implanted this gave this knowledge from his heart to Lord Brahma from within. Yeah. And then in Bhagavad Gita also it confirms that in Bhagavad Gita 10.2 it says Aham Adirhi Devanam. Lord Vishnu or Krishna is the original of all demigods. He's not a demigod. He's the origin of all the demigods, including Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. And in 10.8, Krishna states that Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. Everything is generated from me. There are so many examples that are given. So it's much easier. Srila Prabhupada made it so easier for us to, do this preaching. He has given so nicely everything that if somebody is asking us any question, we are ready with an answer, with an appropriate answer, which is more important. Yeah. And in the Vedanta Sutra also it says Janmadi Asya Yatha. And in Upanishad, the statement is there that Yatova imami bhutani jayate. Everything is generated from Lord Vishnu and everything is maintained by him and everything is annihilated by his energy. So the energies are Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Therefore, by the actions and reactions, the energies which come from him create the cosmic manifestation and also dissolve the whole creation. Yeah. So we will continue our conversation. Let me just go back to the discussion on the shloka today. Well, it is the mercy of the acharyas who made it so simple for us to understand all these things so easily. If you really look at it, it is very difficult for us to understand about the Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. And our acharyas have made it so easy for us to understand. For a common man, it is not for somebody who's very qualified, but it is quite deep and complex, for a common man to understand. And then understanding of God is broken down into 3 steps. This is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So, spiritual master makes the complexity of the Vedic knowledge very, very easy for a disciple to understand. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave this example of the train. Yeah, in the initial days when train was introduced in India by the Britishers, people from all kinds of villages, small towns, and all will go to see what is a train because they've heard of the train. They've never seen a train before. So when they go to the place, to the railway station where the train comes or where the train passes, they have different versions of it. What is a train? If you ask somebody, then somebody says it's a light, it's a loco. So there's one group of people, they come, see the train. So from a far distance, there's a loco which can be seen or the light of the loco can be seen. That's the impersonal energy. And they thought there's a light which is coming, which is the train. And they left from there. Yeah. And then there's a second group of people who saw the train, coming closer to the station where they see the train, the compartments, the body of the train. This is the Paramatma understanding, the super soul. Yeah. And they describe that what is train? Train means it has some compartments and it has some body, and that's how it is. Yeah, so that is the Paramatma understanding of the super soul. Some more people waited for a little longer time when the train arrived onto the station and stopped. They saw the windows, they saw the doors, they went inside to see the seats. They also saw the luggage compartment. So they saw everything in detail inside the train. That's the Bhagwan realization. Yeah. And the Shastras, help us realize that he's the soul and he's the complete understanding. And the one who entered the coach had the complete understanding of the whole thing. So somebody who really worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, gives himself 100% to the Lord, is able to understand. And this is possible, as I said, only due to the mercy of the spiritual master and the acharyas, because they've given us in detail. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj would always say that take the example of the material world to understand the spiritual world. Yeah. Now, it would have been very difficult for us to understand the analogy of Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. And Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj made it so simple by an example of a train coming in. Yeah. So we would always link the material world to understanding of the spiritual world. It's much easier because people these days are very, very engrossed in the material way of life. So if you give them an example through the material life, it's easier for them to understand the spiritual life. And Krishna makes it clear that he's the source of the Brahman and the super soul. And then he also advises us to choose the aspect of the Lord which is most worshipable. We worship him directly. And the source of Brahman and Paramatma. So we worship Bhagavan directly, which is the source of Brahman and Paramatma. What can give me the most return? Most of us here in the class are from either business community or from professional backgrounds. So we'll always think that what can I do which can give me the most? So if I invest 100 rupees, I should get the maximum out of it. So when we do business, we are most satisfied when we worship Krishna. It's something very similar to that. I would want to see what can give me the maximum returns. So if I worship Krishna, that's the maximum returns that I can get. And we have to study. Krishna makes it clear that he's the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Yeah. In South India, Mayavadis would like to debate. That's the culture of the Mayavadis. They would always want to have Tark and Vitark and all of that. So there's a lot of debate which is going on. So we have to know who Krishna is and why do we worship him and make our Shraddha, make our faith very, very strong. Yeah. Sri Prabhupada said religion without philosophy is useless or it is useless sentiments. Yeah. So philosophy is very, very important for us. And going down further, there are three kinds of devotees. What are these three kinds of devotees? The three kinds of devotees are Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and then you also have the Uttamadhikari. Who is a Kanishtadhikari? Kanishtadhikari probably has a little bit of faith, Adav Shraddha, and he probably hears the holy name of the Lord sometimes and does some bhajan sometime, but has positive attitude towards the current situation. He has a positive attitude towards when you talk about the Lord, then he has some positive attitude. Who's a Madhyamadhikari? Madhyamadhikari is a person who says Krishna consciousness is good. It's nice to be, but has very little knowledge. It doesn't really. He's not against the devotees. He's very very much supportive to the devotees, but he has a very little knowledge. Now, who's a Uttamadhikari? Uttamadhikari is one who knows the difference between Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, and worships only Bhagavan. He says it's like a simple example where you have a big tree, and if the tree has to be nourished, you have to put water to the base of the tree, the roots of the tree. You can't be putting water onto the fruit, you can't be putting water onto the leaves, you can't be putting water on the branches and twigs. It doesn't really help. So Uttamadhikari is a person who has actually understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead very well. He knows what is to be done and how it is to be done. He knows the process, and he is one who is also very much concerned about the other two aspects of the devotees, that is Kanishta and Madhyamadhikari. So he tries to impart knowledge onto all the other two, that is Kanishta and Madhyamadhikari, to bring them to a level where they can understand this very, very clearly. So it's a very nice analogy and very nice comparison that Srila Prabhupada has given today in our purport here, because it is spoken by Lord Vishnu himself and the conversation goes on. We will continue to read this a little more as we move forward from here. But today being a very auspicious day, today is the disappearance day of Raghunath Das Goswami. Today is also the disappearance day of Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and it is also disappearance day of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Now, I thought it is very important for us to discuss or at least hear about all these great acharyas in our parampara. And by hearing about the acharyas, we get bhakti. By hearing about the acharyas, we also get attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I've jotted down a few things today. Maybe we should, hear about them. So we'll start with Raghunath Das Goswami Maharaj. He used to reside by the banks of Radhakunda. All of us know that. And Radhakund those days was a very, very small, kind of a small pond of water. And therefore, sometimes he would meditate in his mind. He would think that, Radhakund should become big, enlarging of the Radhakund. And then he would actually say, no, 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 this is not correct. He would chastise himself for desiring something which would require a large amount of money. He would say, where do I have money? I'm a mendicant. And how can a mendicant get such kind of money to enlarge the Radhakunda? And, this is the arrangement of the Lord. During the same time, there was a very wealthy merchant who underwent great austerity by walking all the way to Badrikashram in Himalaya. And the moment that he arrived at Badrikashram, Sri Badnirayan, he had the darshan of Lord Badrinarayan there, and he'd offered a lot of his wealth at his lotus feet. And while that night, when he was taking rest at Badrikashram, he gets a dream, and he was instructed to go to Vrindavan. And when he reaches Vrindavan, he should offer all his wealth to Raghunath Das Goswami, who is actually at that point of time, he was staying in Aditgram. And if Raghunath Das Goswami says that I don't want to take the money, you please tell him that this is the instructions of Lord Badrinarayan, and this is for the renovation of Radhakunda and Shyamakunda. So this wealthy merchant was very happy to have such a nice dream, and Lord Badrinarayan coming in his dream, and from there he goes to his house, and then he sets forth to Vraja, and there he meets Raghunath Das Goswami and actually relates all this dream to him. And Raghunath Das Goswami was very, very happy. And he was actually both ways, he was perplexed that how could, the Lord read my mind. And at the same time, he was very happy because somebody's come forward to help him and, enlarge the Radhakunda and Shyamkunda. So he immediately gives him his permission. And then this wealthy merchant starts, preparing for digging the whole place into two kundas. And what you see today is the work that Raghunath Das Goswami's dream of enlarging the Radhakunda and Shyamakunda, and it was done by this wealthy merchant. And if you see on the banks of Radhakund, there are 5 Pandavas who were residing. And this again is story connected with the enlargement of this one. And as the work was proceeding, while to enlarge the Radhakunda Shyamkund, they were to cut down this 5 Pandava trees there. And the Pandavas appeared in the dream of Raghunath Das Goswami. And he said, please don't cut the trees. We would like to stay here in Sridham Vrindavan on the banks of Radhakund and Shyamkund. They are still there today. All of us go and have darshan of them. And a lot of kundas, nearby kundas were also kind of, we call it as Jiranoddhar. It was all developed very well. And there are also kunjas of the 8 gopis that were also constructed during this time. And after all this was constructed, Raghunath Das Goswami, when he saw all this ready, he had actually forgotten himself in the ecstasy. Yeah. And then Raghunath Das Goswami, as we know, lived on the banks of Radhakund without any fixed residence, staying under different tree every night. Sometimes he would stay under the banks of Manasa Ganga, sometimes at this place under the tree. And then he would also, and this area was completely filled by jungles with ferocious animals. One day, Sanatan Goswami came to the banks of Manas Ganga and met Gopal Bhatta Goswami before accepting his noon meal at Gopal Bhatta's kutir. He went to take bath at the Pavan Ghat. There's Pavan Ghat on the banks of Manasa Ganga. From there, he saw two tigers coming onto the kunda, and after drinking some water, they just left. Just near the spot was Raghunath Das Goswami, who was sitting under tree, absorbed in his bhajan. He was so engrossed in his bhajan that he did not even notice that these two tigers came and left from there. And this is noticed by Sanatana Goswami, saying that Krishna was standing at a distance and guarding Raghunath Das Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami really gets annoyed with him. And then he questions that, or he requests that Raghunath Das Goswami should do his bhajan within the hut and not sitting outside in the jungle. And there was another occasion also that Raghunath Das Goswami, despite these instructions of Sanatana Goswami, he did not bother to have a kutir constructed for himself. And one noon, he's in a heavy, scorching sun, he's sitting down and doing his bhajan. And the best part is, Srimati Radharani is passing by this area, and she sees Raghunath Das Goswami, sitting and doing his bhajan. Because it was very hot, he was actually sweating, and it was so hot. So Radharani actually holds her pallu, behind pallu of her sari behind Raghunath Das Goswami to protect him from the sun. And then, while doing so, she herself is standing in the sun, the very hot sun. So one of the other Goswamis came here and he saw this scene, and this time he was again requested that Raghunath Das Goswami should have his kutir, and he immediately agreed to comply with that. And then after that, he had a small kutir constructed, and there he would sit and do his bhajan. There's another story also very nice. In Vrindavan, Krishna is served by Radharani and Chandravali. Yeah, they also have unlimited maids. According to the Melodies of Love, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami counted as the maid servant friend of Srimati Radharani. And Chandravali, if you see, this is again spiritual competition. Radharani and Chandravali would have competition. So Chandravali was the main competitor of Radharani. And Raghunath Das Goswami would never go to the Kunja or talk to any other Sakhis. Thus, he served the servants of Radharani within his mind this way always. So it is very important. The Acharyas are teaching us, saying that we should always serve the devotees. Well, Raghunath Das Goswami did not serve Radharani directly or Krishna directly. He served the servants of Radharani. Look at the distance. Sometimes we say, no, I want to be there in the forefront. I want to be there. No, here they are taking a back seat and allowing everybody else to serve, and they're serving. So many times, when we see our gurus coming in, or one of this Vaishnavas coming in, very senior disciples of Sri Prabhupada coming in, rather than trying to serve them directly, we should take a back seat, allow the other devotees who are experts in serving them, and we should serve the devotees. That's the understanding that we have. The best part is the Govardhan Shila, which was given by Mahaprabhu to Raghunath Das Goswami, is still being worshipped at Sri Gokulananda Mandir in Vrindavan. All of us have had darshan of this. So now we will move on to Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was walking from Banaras to Puri, and he was thinking that, will I be able to meet Mahaprabhu, and will he remember me? Will he know me? Because when I met him last, I was a little boy, and here in Puri, Mahaprabhu has so many devotees. I doubt even if he would even recognize me. So the moment he reached Vrindavan, the moment he reached Puri, he offered his obeisances to Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu immediately took Raghunath Bhatta Goswami and embraced him. And very firmly, he embraced him. And Raghunath Bhatta Goswami's eyes were filled with tears. And he, caught hold of the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu and spoke, saying that you are the most merciful Lord. you still remember me? Uh, and the answer that Mahaprabhu gives him, what are you speaking of this life? I remember you, the affection that you and your mother and father have showed me in this life. Even after this life, I will still remember. Yeah, your mother fed me so lovingly every day when I stayed in Kashi. That is what is the answer that Mahaprabhu gives it to him. And then Mahaprabhu introduces Raghunath Bhatta Goswami to the other devotees who are very pleased to meet him. And Raghunath's father, his name was Tapan Mishra. When Nimai Pandit traveled to East Bengal as a teacher, this is before sannyasa that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took. He met Tapan Mishra at that time. And through Tapan Mishra, though Tapan Mishra was a very learned scholar, he had discussed the conclusion of scriptures with many other Pandits. Still, he was uncertain on the actual goals to achieve it. So, he discusses that, or rather, he gets a dream one night and he says that Nimai Pandit is going to come there and then you can have the conversation with him and he will explain you the life's goal and how to attain it. So it's a very simple thing. And the dream also tells him that, Nimai Pandit is not an ordinary human being, but he is the incarnation of Naranarayan. And he has come to this world as a human being to perform his pastimes, but he's actually the cause of the universe. This was confirmed in Chaitanya Bhagavat in Adi Leela 14.123, saying this, his dream broke. And soon after this, in the morning, when he finished his bath and puja, Tapan Mishra set out to meet Nimai Pandit. And he met Nimai Pandit at the place where he was staying. He saw that Nimai Pandit was, his bodily effulgence was so nice. And he was, the whole area was illuminated by his bodily effulgence. And his eyes were like the petals of the full bloom lotus. And his hair, at that time, Nimai Pandit had the nice hair, curly hair. And his chest was, broad chest and with a Brahmana thread which was running. And he was wearing yellow silken cloth around him. And this is something beautiful. And when Tapan Mishra arrived there, Mahaprabhu smiled and made him sit next to him and requested an introduction. And after the introduction, Tapan Mishra asked his dear question of the goal of life and how to attain it. So Mahaprabhu replies this very well, says that in every age, the Supreme Lord advanced himself for the welfare of living entities. He gives instructions how to attain his association. In Satyuga, the process was meditation. In Treta Yuga, it was with sacrificial rituals. And in Dwapar Yuga, the worship of deity. And in Kali Yuga, congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is quoted in Chaitanya Bhagavat in Adi Leela 14.137. So this is the instruction that Tapan Mishra got from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly. And Tapan Mishra soon after that left the place and so this is the pastime of well, I also want to mention this about Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, that in Gaur Ganodadesh Deepika, it is described that Raghunath Das Goswami was Ragamanjari in Krishna Leela. His birth was in 1427 Saka, that is 1505 Christian year that we take, on the 12th day of the bright fortnight of Ashwin. His disappearance was in 1501 Saka, 1579, on the 10th day of bright fortnight of Jyeshta. So that is, it is happening the 10th day of Jyeshta month, that is today. Now, finally, we have some more time, so I'll quickly run through Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Again, he was born in Nadia, family of physicians, and that's near 90. And his father was Bhagirath and mother was Sunanda. He had a younger brother named Shyamadas. The deity of God Nityananda installed by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is being still worshipped there in this place in Bardhaman. The lineage doesn't seem to exist anymore, is what is the understanding. And the main contribution that we see of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which was authored by him. And he was very dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he accepted the Goswamis, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami as their instructing spiritual masters. Their instructing spiritual masters. And see, again, this is the quality of a Vaishnava, though he was a very qualified person, very well read, very well written. He took permission from Sri Lokanath Goswami and Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. He begged permission to write Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And one more quality of the Vaishnava, Sri Lokanath Goswami directs him, saying that his name should not appear anywhere in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So if you see Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will hardly see the reference to Lokanath Goswami, though he is a very senior Vaishnava. And apart from this, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also compiled some of these books called Sri Govinda Lilamrita, Krishna Karanamrita Commentary, and of course, all of us know that he wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is the, I would say, doctorate degree, because when we say it is graduation is Bhagavad Gita, post-graduation is Srimad Bhagavatam, and doctorate is Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that's the greatness of all these three great acharyas in our lineage, whose day of leaving their material body is their disappearance day. So we jointly pray at the lotus feet of all these great Vaishnavas that we get bhakti like them, we get the mercy of the Lord. Because if you see in all these three cases, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his direct mercy to Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, to Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, to Raghunath Das Goswami. Directly he gave mercy. So we should also beg at the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas that we get their direct mercy through our spiritual master and continue our spiritual advancement as we move forward. So I will end the session here. I think, just come to the end of the session. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And if there are any comments, please go ahead and make them. And if there are any corrections, I'll be happy to accept. Thank you very much for your patient hearing.
Hare Krishna जी, बहुत
Hare Krishna, Hare Leela Prabhuji, धन्यवाद.
बहुत धन्यवाद प्रभु जी, आपने बहुत अच्छे से वृंदावन सबकी गोस्वामी बताया.
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद प्रभु जी. और एक चीज मैं बताना भूल गया था, हमारे शास्त्रों के हिसाब से राधा कुंड, श्याम कुंड इज द हाईएस्ट प्लेस ऑफ स्पिरिचुअल एडवांसमेंट इन दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड. तो उसके हिसाब से हमें रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी जी के we are indebted to Raghunath Das Goswami for giving us this wonderful place, the best place for bhakti of Radha Kunda and Shyam Kunda.
Dandavat pranam Prabhu ji.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद प्रभु जी, आपका बहुत अच्छे से समझे. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody, for joining this morning session. Really appreciate your time. And I thank the management for giving me this opportunity to speak today on the beautiful subject. Thank you very much. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees for like desired trees, fulfilling the desires of all the material conditions. Vancha kalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo Nanta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.